Today's program is going to be a little bit different than usual. Normally, I do a long monologue here, my reported monologue, telling you my perspective and reporting on something in the news. But today, it's going to be different. I continue to be struck by how little we're hearing the voice of Charlie Kirk on video. It's available. Of course, you can watch it all on YouTube. But in news coverage and programs like this, I feel like we should hear more from Charlie. But I also feel we should hear from more people who've been affected by Charlie's life. There's so many things going on around the country that are meant to commemorate and honor him, including the resumption of the college tour that was so important to him. Here's something from an event earlier this week in Utah, the state, of course, where Charlie was assassinated, a Turning Point USA event where the crowd made clear what and who was on their mind.
Charlie, 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 Charlie.
So there's a lot of people energized by the aftermath of the assassination who want so much to honor him and to think about what for Turning Point USA, for the movement, what comes next. Before I tell you about our special guest today, I want to tell you about why they're here. They're here because of an email I got from a Nexter last week. This was from Jen in Colorado, who wrote in and said that she'd had a realization. Jen wrote, "This is some of the first loss that many of Charlie's devotees have suffered. Knowing how it's still affecting me," Jen wrote, "a middle-aged mom, I can only imagine how it is affecting the younger generation who felt like they knew him because they saw him every day on their social media feed." So that got us thinking. We haven't heard in any great detail, maybe a short soundbite, but nothing beyond that, from so many of the young people around the country who were inspired by Charlie Kirk, who were part of Turning Point USA on their campus, who wanted to start a chapter. So today, a very special conversation with three young people whose lives were changed by Charlie Kirk as he lived and are surely changed in the wake of his assassination. So when we come back, I'll introduce you to three of those people, three young people whose testimony to how important Charlie Kirk was to them, I think will really inspire you and make it clear just how influential he was. And then after that, Isabel Brown will be here. She knew Charlie well and part of the Turning Point USA movement and a great host of her own program. So coming up, three young people, that's next up, and then Isabel Brown, all on this special episode of Next Up.